Hello again, everyone. It's been a while since I posted. Today is Monday, July 16th, 2018. And I'm going for a quick little walk just after the sun has set in my neighborhood. It's about 9:43. Technically the sun hasn't set, but it's behind the houses. It's not quite so hot out. And thought I'd do an update since I only did the one last week. So, talk a little bit about running, a little bit about what I've been up to, some pondering, some musings. We'll just kind of see where it goes from here. So I'm walking through my neighborhood. I'm really close to home. I'm not planning to go too far just because it's getting late. So last week's running plan called for 5, 8, 5, and then 14.4 kilometers for my runs. As you know from my last update, I missed I did the first 5 a day late. So then I was a day late on the 8, and then I wound up missing the second 5 completely. But I did get the 14.4 done, which is the important thing with half marathon training, is to not neglect the long run. So feeling pretty good about last week regardless. That long run last week just about killed me. And the reason I didn't get the second 5 in is because we had a thunderstorm headed right at us, and severely warned. I moved all my plants to kind of protect them. I was supposed to be carrying a lot of hail with it, and it veered right around us right at the last minute. But then it rained and rained and rained, and there was a little bit of low rumbling, which I just didn't want to deal with that. So that was why I missed that run. And but I did get in the 14.4, which for those of you who are not metrically inclined is 9 miles. I actually did it right through this neighborhood. In fact, part of my run was up this street, and then down this street, and then back up the street on the inside sidewalk, and back down. I basically ran the streets of the neighborhood. It was a lot of fun. Until I was dead, then it wasn't fun. When I started out Saturday's run, I started out in my old Cayanos and decided that those shoes are pretty much ready for retirement. They were making my feet hurt a little bit. So I ran back home and swapped them out and then continued on my run. Partway through my run, my younger child apparently got into my bug spray and decided to squirt it right in his face. So I had some panic texts from my husband telling me that if he started complaining about them hurting again after my husband rinsed them, then they'd have to come get me, and I don't know, come get me. But he was fine. So the 14.4 took me just over 2 hours. Part of that because of the heat, part of that stopping to text frantically with my husband. Let's see what else. Right before my run, I tried some Clif Blox, which I've never used before, but I kind of figure with my my half marathon, my last one, I didn't do any sort of fueling during training at all, and I'm not sure if I bonked or if it was an electrolyte thing, but I did run out of juice pretty close to the end. I kind of like to try to prevent that this time. So during my long runs, I'm going to be playing around with that. Anyway, the ones I had were green. Had them about half an hour before I set out. Didn't have any problems. So, presumably, I can eat those during my race. I guess I'll pick up a few more packs and see if I can actually choke them down while I'm running. Otherwise, I know that I can tolerate most sports drinks, so there's always that as an option. Just kind of rather have a plan going in rather than winging it. And the race nutrition that they're providing during the race is something that I know I can't do. So, yeah. So that's kind of my plan as far as that goes. I mentioned I retired a pair of shoes. That means that when I get back from this vacation, or maybe while I'm on the vacation, I'm going to be going shoe shopping again. So send me your recommendations. Normally I run in a stability shoe. I think that my En Routes are more of a neutral shoe, and I seem to be doing okay in them, so not really any pain. And once in a while I'll have a twinge when I'm wearing them, but I think that's because they've got a much smaller drop than my Cayanos. So, I mean, I'll go to a running store and talk to running people, but if you have any suggestions for a stability shoe, maybe a light stability shoe rather than an aggressive one, for me to try. And also, I'm thinking I want to come down and drop a little bit as well, because one thing I have noticed with the En Routes is that I'm heel striking a little bit less, which is a bit of a positive because I'm pretty aggressive on that, and I find that it jars my knees, and then I'm sore going up and down stairs the next day, and that's no fun for anybody, let alone me. Yeah. So, comment, reach out, let me know what you think. What's your favorite shoe? Why? And like I said, I'll probably be investing in another pair, either while I'm on vacation or when I get back. As for where I'm going on vacation, we're going to spend a couple days in Calgary, take the kids to the zoo. I do have a 5K training run, scheduled for one of the days that we're in Calgary, so, but it's also a travel day. And our hotel is right on the outskirts of the city near the airport, which I don't think is a runner-friendly area. So I think I'm probably just going to hit the treadmill for that one, which is a shame. I know Calgary is a beautiful city to run. I've seen pictures from other people who've run there, and I would have liked to, but that'll have to wait for the next trip, when maybe I stay somewhere next time that's in a bit more of a runnable area. After Calgary, we are headed to the Kootenays, where my husband and I will be staying at some hot springs for a belated anniversary celebration getaway. I'm really looking forward to that. And then on our last day in that area, I have my 10K trail race. So today I reached out to the race organizers, and we'll see what they say, just asking for suggestions for running routes, because I'll have an 8K and a 5K training run to take care of while I'm there. And I would kind of prefer something a bit more traveled so I don't run into a bear. Because I think that would be kind of, I don't know what I'd do. Probably just lay down and wait to die. I'm a city girl. I don't run where there's bears. Bears don't really scare me because every time I've seen them, I've been in a car. But I really wouldn't want to run into one on a hiking trail or a running trail. But the town near where we're staying, it's on a lake, and there's a really pretty boardwalk. And I kind of figured that would be good for the 5K run the streets of the town, and I'll probably take a video, probably won't upload it for a few days. So then I have my race, and then we head down to the coast, where we spend like maybe 1.5 days with my parents, and then travel further south to the States, to Washington, visit my in-laws. My husband has promised that we can go to Mount St. Helens, which is what I really want to do while we're there. I have some scheduled training runs while we're down there as well. So my husband has made a few suggestions already, places that I can go run. I think he's looking kind of like at park areas. So where we'll be staying is kind of small town, big city, if that makes sense. And double check with my in-laws to make sure that the areas he suggests haven't suddenly turned sketchy since he moved away from there 13 years ago. But I'm looking forward to that. And then back to my parents' house for another day or two. And then we continue on home. That's our vacation. I'm not sure where and when I'm going to be able to upload videos while I'm traveling. Probably not while I'm in the Kootenays, just because the place where we're staying doesn't even have cell phone service, so let alone data. And even if it did, I don't exactly want to upload one of these videos using a data plan. I'd prefer to use Wi-Fi. So probably I'll do an upload dump while I'm with my parents, and I might be able to upload as I go while we're visiting with my in-laws, just because they have Wi-Fi. So we're just about at the end point of tonight's walk. Chose this path deliberately. I just want to show off our lake. It's a private lake owned by our homeowners association, and usually I go to the other side, but this side's really pretty too. Didn't bring my card, so I can't get into the park, but I can show it off. So, just come around these trees and over to the gate. The lake doesn't smell anymore. Thank goodness. It was just horrifying before. So, there you have it. There's the lake at sunset. Some rando swimming in the water. Does kind of smell. They had a triathlon in there on Saturday. So kudos to those athletes who managed to swim in a kind of stinky lake. In any case, that's pretty much it for today's run. I hope you can hear me over the sound of the fountain. Or today's walk, I should say. And I should be back in a couple of days with another report. Until then, have a great evening.